year is 1996. Our guest here today is doing what he does, and that's win matches and win state championships. Sir, if you would, introduce yourself.
Miguel Merritt, Hopkinsville High School wrestling team.
Miguel Merritt, 1995 state champion, most outstanding wrestler, and we're going to go ahead and tell you, 1996 state champion as well. But before we get to that, you are a two-sport athlete legend in Hopkinsville. And I say legend because you're in the Hopkinsville Hall of, I think, the inaugural class.
Yes.
Inaugural class, that's a good word. Inaugural class of, and I mean, if you look at pound for pound per capita, Hopkinsville Christian County has produced some incredible athletes over, like Curtis Pooley played at University of Kentucky, played at Florida A&M. I think Robbie Moss played for University of Kentucky. Artus Penner. We could go on and on and on about the athletes that Hopkinsville Christian County has produced, baseball players. And you are a two-sport athlete, football and wrestling. Now, in 1995, you were in the running for Mr. Football.
Yes.
You and some guy named Tim Couch. Never heard of him. I don't know anything about him. No, I'm kidding. But you actually got to play against Tim Couch.
I did.
At the Stadium of Champions. And I think the score was 63-0.
I think 6-3. I think it scored 3 points.
Okay, well, we'll say 63-3 just to give them a little bit. But we have the program, or a copy of the program here, the cover of it anyway, and your biography. You guys are seeing photos of it. Now, to hear the Christian County Hopkinsville contingent tell the story, that is the biggest sporting event the world's ever seen. Apparently, there was like 85 million people here.
It was a big event for a high school game.
No, I can believe that. And everywhere that Tim Couch went that year, he was, everybody, as before social media. Yeah. So the word got, the myth of Tim Couch just grew and grew and grew and grew. And actually, below this on a couple videos, I actually have Tim Couch playing a football game against country music superstar now, Chris Stapleton.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Stapleton played for Johnson Central, played linebacker. Tim actually gets sacked a couple times by Chris Stapleton. Wow. Leslie County wins 12-6. Tim threw 4 interceptions that game, and you guys, beating 63-3. And as you're seeing, he's wearing his Alabama crimson, and you went on to play football at University of Alabama.
I did.
And tell us about your football career at Alabama.
It was an eye-opening experience, man. It's a whole different level when you get to that level, D1 level, especially University of Alabama.
Right.
You got so many great legends that come from there. But it's a great time, man. It was a great time. It taught me how to become a man.
I got you. Now, you played, was it linebacker?
Outside linebacker.
Outside linebacker. And then high school, you played running back.
Running back, quarterback.
Everything, right? And, man, you talk about a stacked team. You had Livingston, you had Hank. Having Livingston on the line, that's like having a bulldozer, just moving everybody out of the way. I can just imagine Hank, you had 3 state champions on that team.
Yeah, well, Artus, his cousin, played for us. He wanted to play University of Kentucky also.
Oh, yeah, Artus was on that team?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness gracious. So you had 2 Division I running backs in the backfield.
Exactly.
Did you guys make it to state tournament, like state finals in football that year?
We made to the semifinals.
Semifinals?
Yes.
Was you, 4A then, or 3A?
We was 4A.
So you went up against, Trinity, or?
Yeah, we played Bowling Green. We got beat by Bowling Green.
Oh, my goodness.
And they actually went on to win it that year.
Did they?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Now, two-sport, football, wrestling, doesn't get much bigger than playing University of Alabama playing football.
No,
Alabama's the show. Let's be real here. University of Alabama is the biggest football program and you got to play there. Hopkinsville Hall of Fame. Your jerseys retired at the Hall of Fame or the Stadium of Champions there,
yes,
where both teams, Christian County, Hopkinsville, played. But we're going to talk about your wrestling senior year here, and let's go over your bracket. Of course, you're coming off of a state championship in 1995, most outstanding wrestler, and in this era, like I said earlier, we didn't have Facebook, we didn't have track wrestling, we didn't have all these ways to keep up with how guys were doing, who was who. But when you walk into a gym, people know who you are.
Yes.
People know who Miguel Merritt is. They know who Livingston Merritt is. They know who Hank Penner is. They know all this Hopkinsville, these loaded team is coming in. Do you feel like you were getting whether it was a state champion or a state champion, do you feel you were getting everybody's like just 110% the whole time? Or they just scared, they saw your finals like, hey man, we don't want no problems, man.
Well, this particular year, going to this state tournament, I mean, someone got offended during weigh-ins, like I said.
Yeah, tell us that story.
It was two guys, when they call it weight class at the weigh-in, it was two guys in front of me telling each other they're going to see each other in the finals. I'm like, where they put me at then? So I took offense to that, so I made it my mission to finish first place in this tournament.
And 1995 185-pound state champion. You're in the 189-pound state or weight class in 1996. And it does not have, I'm sorry, no, that's your, it says 21-6, but I think that, is that your record, you remember?
No, I was undefeated myself.
Okay, I think that might be a score of a match. They just got in the wrong spot. So let's go over your bracket here real quick. First round, you wrestle Josh Richards from Lexington Lafayette. You win that by a fall. The quarterfinals, you wrestle Chad Kessinger from Fern Creek. Chad comes in 6th. You win that by a fall. In the semifinals, you're wrestling Jason Boer from Campbell County. And Jason comes in 4th. You win that by a fall as well. So 3 matches, 3 pins. I mean, those guys are playing checkers. You're playing chess with a wrecking ball. You know what I mean? Playing chess with a wrecking ball. Now, you're wrestling from Sheldon Clark, Matt Stepp again. Very rarely do you get a matchup from the year prior. It's happened a couple times. I know Harrison Courtney from Woodford County wrestled Bo Sanders from Harrison Courtney wrestled Harrison County. It wrestled him 2007 and 2008 back-to-back years. There's been a couple other rematches, but it's a very rare occurrence that happens.
Yeah.
But you're wrestling Matt, and you guys are going to see. You could tell that they've been practicing and preparing to wrestle you in the finals.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just tell it. You can tell Jim Matney had him in the mat room and staying after, working on defending the snap down.
Yeah.
I mean, you can. It's plain as day. And of course, we don't want to spoil the video, but he does. You know, Matt does have a better defense than what he did in '95 for it. But do you have like any memories outside of like this match about the state finals? This is your senior season. Had you already committed to Alabama then?
At this time, I had committed to the University of Kentucky to play football.
Oh, well, why did? Come on, man. what are we doing?
Yeah, I committed to University of Kentucky. I had academic problems coming out of high school, so I went to junior college in California.
Okay.
Coaching staff in UK got fired, so I was free to go anywhere else.
I got you.
That's how I got to Alabama.
I got you. Well, I can tell you as a Kentucky fan, we'd love to have you, but you done what was best for you, and
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong playing for Alabama. I actually, say this before we watch the video, we were coming back from a vacation in, I forget, 2017, 2018, and we were passing through Alabama coming back home, and
Yeah.
we took a detour to Tuscaloosa.
Oh, yeah?
It was out of season, and we went to the stadium, and to Bryant-Denny Stadium, and out of season, school was out. This was like June or July, whatever, and there was some maintenance staff there, and we told them, you know, hey man, we're from Kentucky, never been here before. They let us come in. We got to go in the locker room.
Oh, yeah?
We got
Wow.
to go through the tunnel. We didn't get to go on the field, but
Yeah.
they gave us like backstage. It was really cool
Yeah.
to get to see that, and I mean that's a big stadium. I mean
they've done a lot of renovation to it now, so it looked totally different.
yeah,
So,
it was a big. We ate at a place called I think Ramajama's.
yeah,
Right across from the from the stadium there, and it was really cool to get to experience. And that's something that now that a lot of coaches and a lot of parents, and there's a big initiative for kids to play more than one sport.
Exactly.
And kids should play more than one sport.
Exactly.
I mean, when it's football season, play football. When it's wrestling season, wrestle. If you play baseball, whatever it is, basketball, whatever it is that you do, don't just focus on one because you're going to burn yourself out.
Exactly.
And
That's why I tell people, wrestling helps them with football.
Yep.
And the balance and the coordination goes well with football.
And I mean, it's hard to say that a two-time state champion, the way that you won it, that you go on to play football at Alabama, SEC football, and one of the best schools in the country. I mean, to be a two-sport athlete, yeah, you should. You should be. You should not just focus on one thing.
Exactly.
Diversify yourself. All right, enough of us talking. Let's go get in the DeLorean. Let's go to 1996, the first year at the Dungeon. We'll see you guys there. You guys are seeing what we're seeing. It's the first year at the Dungeon in Frankfort. Now this is cool. Under the lights, you went from wrestling in a high school gym to an arena under the lights. I mean, this is, professional wrestling,
Exactly.
Mike Tyson, MMA, like I said, under the lights, the announcer, it's all you can see is the mat is lit up, and this is an experience, man. This is so cool that, of course, this place no longer exists. But, this is incredible that, this is the best atmosphere the KHSAA ever produced for any sport, no matter what it was. Boys, girls, spring, summer, fall, winter, whatever sport it was. Under the lights at the Dungeon in Frankfurt for the state championship finals, wrestling was the best atmosphere. So are you kind of nervous?
I wasn't so much nervous. I was anxious.
Okay, that's a good word. Just excited to get there, man. This is your
Exactly.
second time in the finals. All right, let's watch this. I think you got Mean Gene Washington as your referee.
Good guy.
So you guys got new warm-ups this year.
Yeah, we had the warm-ups.
Quick, man. No, that's when they're doing those photos they send out. Here we are underneath the lights. So right off the bat.
Yeah, he's standing more straight up now, so
Yep.
I know he's been working on that snap down.
And you tried again, but he's
Tried.
defending it. But you get your two. Cutting. Yep, try it again. He defends it well.
So he's been working on it, it look like.
Yeah. You lift. Put the half in, and it's pretty much good night, Irene. 1, 2, 3. And almost the exact same position you pinned him in
Exactly.
in 95. Yep, then what you're supposed to, up on your toes, put the weight on the chest. There it is, you get to fall, holding up to 2.
Yeah, I think I pissed off Coach Place doing that, so.
You earned it. Now, in the 215 class, Livingston won his second state championship. Now, you guys have come in team runner-ups this year, and it's got the trophy
Yeah.
presentation. There, you and Livingston getting the trophy. I think Woodford County wins the team title this year.
Yeah.
They had a good team, though. They had Joe, they had Ian Horn, Chris Dunn.
Yeah, I think they won it the first day, so.
Yeah. So, you got to watch both of your years. Did anything like play out differently? Anything that you like may have had it going in your head that you saw now it's different than what you remembered?
I think that's how I remember. I just know I was just upset during the weigh-in, like when they made the comments. So I was like, I'm gonna fix that problem.
Well, and I don't know who you guys were, but the last thing you would have I could ever advise anybody is to make this guy mad at you if you're going to have to wrestle him, because I'd be like, hey man, listen, where's my white flag? I surrender, man. I seen what he done in '95. I don't want no part of this. I'd be like, it was that guy over there that said it, not me, man. It was him. Plant the evidence on somebody else.
Exactly.
But man, thank you for being here,
Hey,
Miguel.
thank you
Man,
for doing this.
we
Thank
have, Livingston and Damien. They set this up. Coach Harris, and I know it's not to say rare for you to come in, but for us to be at the same place at the same
Yeah.
time. And like I said, you've been on the wish list that I wanted to get with and just be able to tell your story just because of your matches and your contributions to Hopkinsville football and wrestling. Like I said, your 95 is probably the most physically dominant match that
Thank you.
Kentucky's ever seen. I know some of you guys in the comments are going to disagree, but we've got the video evidence. I mean, and even today, I still think you probably still get on the podium. I think that might be something that we have to set up is a over 40 state championship for guys to see who can still pull it out. My money's on this guy. Whatever weight class he wrestles in, I'm betting the farm on Miguel. I'm betting everything on Miguel. But man, any closing words, any closing thoughts about your time at Hopkinsville wrestling, or just anything about wrestling in general?
I mean, wrestling it takes dedication. And I took it and ran with it in life, so I'm dedicated to life because of wrestling. The wrestling coaches, man.
Right.
It probably made me the man who I am today. So thank my family for introducing me to the sport of wrestling.
You had like Coach Harris, Coach Placer. You had some really good, men to look up to.
Exactly.
And you had some really good wrestlers from Hopkinsville, Willie, Jared Trice,
Troy Bailey, Steve Bailey. I mean, all them guys, man.
Gartha, that was here today. You guys have seen Gartha's video. This a deep, deep orange and black tradition, Hopkinsville wrestling, the Tigers, and man, it just, I mean, when a town, when a city or a school has a nickname, Hoptown, no matter what it is, they've earned it.
Exactly.
Roll Tide, they've earned it.
Exactly.
I mean, Big Blue Nation, they've earned it. Maybe not in every sport, but in certain sports, they've earned that Go Big Blue chant. Yep. When you go to Alabama, no matter if it's a visiting stadium, whatever, you're going to hear the Roll Tide chants. You're going to hear, because they've earned it. Hoptown, having it, being called Hoptown, you guys earned it.
Exactly.
I mean, you backed it up. It wasn't just like you was out here just jabbing. I mean, you guys proved it on the mat year in and year out. And again, man, I can't say thank you enough for coming today and doing this, and just being able to get up and being able to tell your story. And that's all that we have with Miguel's 1995 and 1996. Again, the pleasure is all on this side of the camera screen for meeting with Miguel and letting him be able to tell his story, because, like I said, this was one I really wanted to get for a long time, and I'm just glad he was here. Man, that's all we got. We'll see you guys on the mats.